What's up guys, it's OCD Movies and welcome to another Top 10 and 5 video. I know, this weekend is full of Top 10 and 5 videos. Guys, before I start this video, I want to say I hope you guys enjoyed me and Olivia's Top 5 summer films of 2018. It was a lot of fun, but now the fall is coming out. Even though it is summer coming up in Australia, it's not with much big movies than the ones in winter. It's kind of a weird thing. Like, winter is summer movie season and summer is winter movie season. So yes, this is going to be a bit of a mixing up movie channel, you know, because I live in Australia and there's all summer movie seasons and all that stuff. But you know what? Those times, even though there ain't those seasons, they still feel like those movies. And that's why I felt about fall movies. Like, even though it's summer, it does still feel like fall movie season because there's still movies that we need to finish off this year, and also they just feel like not as big movies as what came out in the winter years. So guys, yes, this is my top 10 most anticipated movies in the fall of 2018 because there's a lot of movies coming out in the rest of the year. So let's count those movies down. Now before I start this top 10 list, I'm gonna give you guys some honorable mentions. And now, I haven't done honorable mentions in a while, but there are so many movies coming out during the fall that I think I should name them out. Starting off with The Star is Born, Bad Times at El Real, The Girl in Spider's Web, Overlord, Widows, The Predator, Aquaman, and a movie that is nearly on my number 10, but there's a movie that I was a little bit more anticipating than this movie, and you might kill me for this, but it's Halloween. So guys, let's get started on this top 10 most anticipated movies of the fall of 2018. Starting off with number 10, we have Mary Poppins Returns. Now, yes, this is probably one of the most anticipated sequels with Incredibles 2 of 2018. We've been waiting a bit of a long time to get a sequel to the original Mary Poppins movie, which is my biggest childhood movie. But a lot of people were a bit skeptical about it, especially when they think Emily Blunt is not really the best pick for Mary Poppins, and I gave her a chance. And thank God the first teaser trailer was uploaded, and it is definitely supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. It is an amazing trailer, and especially Emily Blunt, I think she's going to do a great performance, and I'm pretty excited to see what this film's going to go away. Is this going to be better than the original Mary Poppins, or this film is just going to be a disappointment? But still, I'm excited to see how this movie goes. Now coming in number 9 is Spiderman Into the Spiderverse, the very first Spiderman animated movie that's coming into the big screen. Now when I heard that Spider-Man is making an animated film, I'm like very skeptical about it. But when the first teaser trailer came out, I was actually pretty interested in this movie, especially the animation. It looks very different than I see in other animated films. When I first saw the teaser trailer, I'm thinking, this is like a Gorillaz music video. You know the band Gorillaz who's saying like feel good Inc and all that stuff? It does remind me of those type of music videos. But the second trailer, I'm in, and I'm into the Spiderverse because I think this is going to be a new universe of Spider-Man animated films, and I think this film might be a good story, especially when we get a story of Miles Morales, which I thought he's going to be a great character, and I really read the comics, and I thought he's a pretty good Spider-Man. And I'm really interested to see Spider-Man kind of training Miles to be Spider-Man, not like in the comics that Peter Parker was dead and Miles Morales takes his footsteps. They took in a really different turn, and I'm pretty interested of how this film goes. But let's hope that this film is not ruined like the Emoji Movie, because this movie is still produced by Sony Pictures Animation. Now coming in number 8 is another animated film, Ralph Breaks the Internet, the second Wreck-It Ralph movie in the franchise, and I am pretty more excited for this movie than I thought I would. I thought this was going to be another product placement film that we've seen in other films, but I keep thinking to myself, it's Disney. Disney can work the magic, and it definitely did, and I'm actually really excited for this film, especially seeing a lot of cool pop culture references. Like, we see Star Wars, we see Marvel, we even see the Disney princesses, which I thought it was pretty awesome in that trailer. I'm like, it's awesome, especially the original cast of the Disney princesses all returning. I thought it's very awesome. And this movie looks like a pretty interesting sequel to the first movie. And I love the first movie, and I'm pretty interested to see how this movie goes. Now coming in number 7, we have Venom, another Spider-Man movie on my list, and the one that I'm actually more interested in. First of all, a lot of people did not like the other trailers of Venom, even the teaser trailer. They think, oh, there's no Venom in it, this movie looks like shit. But literally, I was actually pretty interested in this movie, and I'm pretty curious of how this movie's going to turn out. Especially the director of this movie, he directed Zombieland, and I really enjoyed that movie, so I'm pretty interested to see how this movie goes. I love Tom Hardy. I think he's one of my favorite actors of all time, and I think he will do a pretty good performance as Venom. And the CGI, the look of Venom, I thought it looked great. But let's just hope that Sony doesn't ruin the product placement with Venom. But still, I'm interested to seeing that. And coming in number 6, we have Bumblebee. Now, I am a fan of the Transformers series, so I'm pretty interested to see how this goes. Especially this movie is not directed by Michael Bay. This movie is directed by Travis Knight, who directed all stop-motion anime films, including Kubo and the Two Strings. So I'm pretty interested to see how this film goes, and especially from the first trailer, I was really surprised by the first trailer. I thought it's going to be another Michael Bay extravaganza, but you can see that this movie is took by a different director, and you can see it does have its story, and I think Haley Steinfeld is going to steal this movie. And the look of Bumblebee, I said it looked CGI before, but I remember this movie took place in the 1980s, so it has a reason why Bumblebee does look like that. And then I find out Bumblebee does look pretty good in this movie, and I'm just curious to see if this is a better Transformers movie than the other Transformers movies. Now up to the top 5, my number 5 is Fantastic Beasts: The Crimes of Grindelwald. Now, I really love the Harry Potter series. I thought the Harry Potter series was part of my childhood. And then first Fantastic Beasts movie, I enjoyed. I didn't think it was the best Harry Potter movie in the series, but I still enjoyed that movie. But I'm actually more curious about this movie because, you know what? It's more, like, action-packed. It looks more fun. And, you know what? New characters in this film, and I'm actually pretty excited to see Jude Law as Professor Dumbledore. He impressed me more in this new trailer, and I thought he could do a pretty interesting performance. And I like it does reference to Hogwarts moments. At the start of the trailer, you see in The Prison of Azkaban, remember that ridiculous scene in that film? Yeah, it shows that, and I thought that was pretty awesome, and I love those flashbacks. And I'm curious to see where this franchise goes, and I'm hoping that this gives the magic that we see in the other Wizarding World movies. Now, coming in number 4 is First Man. This movie is directed by Damien Chazelle, who directed movies like Whiplash and La La Land, my favorite movie of 2016. And this is like the first movie that he directed that is not a musical. And that is a pretty interesting taste. And this movie focuses on Neil Armstrong, the first man that ever got launched to the moon. And we basically saying if it's true or not, because there are a bit of rumors that Neil Armstrong didn't win the moon because he faked it. But I'm curious to see how this film goes, especially Ryan Gosling. I reckon he's going to get another Best Actor Oscar bait because he is a great actor, and I think he can nail that performance of Neil Armstrong. And I like space movies, so I'm really curious to see this biography, seeing how this true story comes apart. And I think this movie could be a pretty interesting movie, and that's why I put this on this list. Now, coming in number 3 is The Nun, the new chapter in the Conjuring universe, and yes, the Conjuring universe is starting to get good. We get the first Conjuring, then we got Annabelle, which is the worst out of them all. Then we got The Conjuring 2, which is really great. And Annabelle Creation I also thought was very underrated. So I'm interested to see The Nun, and this is the closest one that's coming out soon. I'm thinking of going to see that movie next week because there's a screening of it. I'm pretty excited to see this movie because this movie looks terrifying as shit, especially when we see The Nun in The Conjuring 2. And when I heard she's making a solo movie, I'm actually pretty excited. And the first official teaser trailer, I am terrified as shit. There is even an advertisement on YouTube that YouTube has deleted because it's terrifying everybody. And that gives me more of the vibe of the film and gets me more of the excitement of this film. And I'm hoping that this is better than Annabelle Creation. Now, coming in number 2, we have Creed 2. Yeah, Creed. Terrible Sylvester Stallone impression. I really love the first Creed movie. I think it's my favorite Rocky movie in the entire series. So I'm really curious to see what happens in Creed 2. Especially when Michael B. Jordan has to fight the son of the fighter that killed his father. And I thought it's a pretty interesting taste and twist. And it's a pretty good taste and twist. I'm really interested to see how this movie comes apart. I want to see, not just as a boxing movie, I want to still see the friendship between Creed and Rocky Balboa. I wanted to see that chemistry, but this movie looks like it's going to be more better than the first one. Even though the director of this movie, Ryan Coogler, is not directing this film, and you can see it's looks different tonish than the other film, I'm still very interested, and this is nearly on my number 1 most anticipated, but there's one movie that did stall it, and that is coming up right now. My number 1 most anticipated movie of the fall in 2018 is Bohemian Rhapsody, the biography about one of the greatest rock bands in the world, Queen, and this is basically the biography of Freddie Mercury, and I was really excited for this film, especially like the first 2 trailers that came out, and I'm like in, because I used to love Queen when I was so young. We Will Rock You was like my jam back in the day. Like in my primary school when we had our first rock concert, we did We Will Rock You as an opening, and like when you stand to your feet and clap, it just feels good after you listen to that song. I still do it after, like every time I hear We Will Rock You, it just makes me do this. And I'm really curious to see Remy, I forgot his last name, but I know his first name is Remy, seeing how he take on the role as Freddie Mercury, one of the greatest rock singers on Earth. And I can see in the final trailer, it has so many extras. Do you see the end of the trailer? They are all extras. It doesn't look green screen, it looks real. And I'm curious more to see this film, especially when Bryan Singer is directing. I think other directors have directed this movie as well, but I think Bryan Singer is the main director of this project. I'm in, and this is one of my most anticipated movies of the fall of 2018. So guys, thank you guys for watching my top 10 most anticipated movies of fall 2018. What are your picks? Comment below, let me know what you think. And guys, make sure you check out my top 5 summer films of 2018. I'm going to do it every year now. And guys, make sure to subscribe to my channel, and make sure you follow me on Stardust from Facebook. Keep contact with me, and have a nice day.